Welcome back to the channel, good friends. Brian from Apex Detail. We're working on a late model Viper V10. I thought I'd take you along for the ride. It's time for another short vlog. This is going to be a multi-stage, a two-stage correction. Going to be doing a little bit of detailing under the hood, a little bit of detailing in the interior as well. And it's going to get a ceramic metal oxide coating. Being that the top is down as often as possible, we're going to clean and protect the interior materials as well. This particular Viper has a rather old paint protection film, which is a partial, and that means it doesn't cover the whole hood. It only goes up the quarter of the front clip. And we can bring them back to life. I'm going to show you that in this video. All boogered up from bug guts and some scratches and whatever else Mother Nature has thrown up at it for many years. And then we'll walk around and I'll show you with the swirl finder what kind of wear and tear we have on the clear coat. Plenty of clear coat to work with. This is like a Corvette, very hard, stubborn clear coat, and the whole body is fiberglass. There's a lot of room to bring this finish back to life. We look forward to it. We can remove love marks, swirls, staining, etching, and we're going to do a two-stage correction, a cut and finish. Before we get to the paint and the aged PPF, we're going to work on the engine compartment where lies this big beast of a V10. The engine compartment's really not too bad. Heavily dusted, a little bit of grit, and we have the insulation under the hood here needs some TLC as well. Just need to be careful in these areas. The older vehicles, you have to remember, they're not quite as waterproofed as some of the connections in the newer vehicles, so we're not going to be spraying foam and using a pressure washer under here. It's going to be with the least amount of moisture as possible. Geon Fabric Cleaner makes easy work of the insulation under the hood here. We need to be careful. It's getting older, it's getting brittle, so a detailing brush with soft bristles just to agitate, and then we'll carefully wipe off with a microfiber. No forced air, no really aggressive chemicals or tools will be needed here. And this is what we're going to be looking for, this type of turnaround when it comes to cleaning it, reconditioning it without really disturbing the material. And then when it comes to the harder materials like the painted surfaces and the hard plastics, we're going to break out the Extreme Solutions Showroom Elegance, kind of an all-in-one waterless product, or rinseless product anyways. And it will clean, condition, and protect at the same time. Simply mist it onto the surface. We have the battery-powered pump sprayer here, just on mist, no steady stream, enough to get the product on the panel so it can emulsify, lift some of the grit, and I can wipe it free carefully. And I will also use this product to clean up the hard materials such as the metals and the plastics in the engine bay itself. Being careful not to bump against any vacuum hoses or really disturb anything in the engine compartment in the older vehicles. And then for the cherry on top, so to speak, Manette's Mega Shine, which is another all in one and also cleans, conditions, and protects. This darkens all of the hard plastics, makes them look richer, energized, restored, and also protected. I simply mist this into the compartment on absolutely everything, let it sit for 20 minutes. It kind of self levels a little bit, and then we can come back and wipe off any excess. And there we go. We have a finished compartment looking good. Now we can address the paint protection film. And if it was up to me, I would get rid of the partial and protect the whole hood with the film, and also actually the entire front clip, the fenders, the hood, the headlights, the bumper, the mirrors, and the rocker panels. And maybe even best to film the whole vehicle. But that's not in the budget, that's not in this package today. So I'm going to show you how to bring them back to life. Some of the older ones that have etching and some defects. We're going to use the PPF Renew from Geon, team that up with a light polishing pad from Chemi, and we'll attach that to any dual action polisher would work. The PPF Renew has some surfactants and very mild abrasives, so it can remove minor defects and imperfections from film. Films are sensitive to heat, so the trick and key here is to keep that polisher moving, keep the speed down, and very little pressure. And you'll be perfectly fine. A couple trips around that paint protection film, you'll bring out some of the minor to moderate defects. The heavy ones are going to remain, but you'll see some rather significant turnaround. I'll show you a little bit later. So the portion on the fender right behind the headlight or above the headlight hasn't been done. You can see some imperfections. The reflection of the light is rather hazy compared to over here where it's sharp, and a lot of the imperfections have been removed. It brings this area back to life. Is the drawback of doing a partial. You will see the line, especially in these older films, going across the hood, where we would recommend filming the whole hood. Now, they did do a rather good job wrapping the bumper, so we'll have to really scale back to some of the smaller polishers to squeeze in these tighter areas. Also, the headlights and taillights also have a tinted protective film, and they can be restored a bit themselves using the exact same combination and team. And really, in no time at all, we have the entire area that has been covered with the old paint protection film, kind of restored, brought back to life a little bit, has crisper reflection, deeper shine, and we're ready to move on. I'm excited to get to the painted surfaces now, my favorite part, just to show you how dull some of these areas are. As you can see here, I like the short nap towels, especially with the silk borders, to wipe down and get ready for any type of protection, sealant, coating. It's especially important for PPF, paint protection film, as we don't want any lint getting under the film. And these short nap towels are perfect for that. We're going to use it for the wipe down, team it up with Geon Prep, and make sure there's no residue on the panels before we coat it. The correction from the Viper was done the day before, so it's had overnight to sit and cool and settle. So the heat build up from the correction, the swelling, the pores are closing again. Perfect time for the panel prep. And stay away from solvent-based preps for any type of preparation of the surface before coating. Here we're using the two towel method that is highly recommended to remove the coating. The first towel gently gliding over and picking up a lot of the transfer solution, the second one buffing to perfection. When it comes to application, no need for a crisscross pattern if you're in the extreme heat and low humidity climates. Because a crisscross pattern, if you think about it, will cause a bit of friction. Just use straight lines overlapping by half an inch. If you are in a controlled environment, use any method you deem necessary or you're comfortable with when applying the coating. Here is a great first person view to kind of show you how easy it is to use. And yes, I'm going right over the PPF. You can apply this over PPF wraps, vinyl stripes, old or new. As you can see here, this vehicle is going to go to shows, and the trunk and the doors and the hood are going to be open frequently. So we're going to coat absolutely everything. But you know what? This is no deviation as to what we do with all of our packages. Absolutely every square inch of the painted surfaces on the vehicle get coated, and a lot of, just to be completely transparent, a lot of detail companies miss that or maybe avoid doing that for one reason or another. I recommend you coating all painted surfaces. All right, that's going to wrap up the coating. We're going to let that cure for 4 hours before we top it. So we have a lot of time to get some other stuff done. We're going to work on the interior here. We don't go really into great detail with interiors anymore. We'll do a quick freshen up, or we'll do the preparation we deem necessary to protect surfaces like leather or plastic or trim in the interior. We'll also do some polishing in the trim, but we no more do extractions or steaming. We don't go that far anymore. We just don't have time for it, as we specialize in the correction and protection of painted and external surfaces. As you can see here, we're doing a bit of cleanup. We're getting ready because we are doing some protection, and we're going to use the Acute Sense from TAC Systems. TAC is not easy to find. You can still get it from Carzilla.com. I'll try to remember to put a link down below. Great products, just terrible marketing, and just terrible the way they handle the product here in the States. But that's just my opinion. Some of you may find it easy to find. I think it's great products, and it's just a shame that we have to dig so deep to find them. That's going to take care of the interior. The top's also going to be down when it's being driven or at a show, so we need some protection from UVA, UVB, and the Acute will give it that. Also gives it a nice, dark, rich look without an oily, greasy sheen that most products will give you. Next, we'll move on to the tires. Something new to show you, the Jescar tire and trim protectant. This is also like a coating, but I really love the way this goes on nice and even, and the look that it gives me. Most of you know that myself and a lot of my customers do not like that extra glossy look. A nice, dark, rich, new tire look is what we're looking for. Simply squeeze some into a foam applicator, get it onto the tire, spread it out evenly, and move on to the next tire. Well, I get it, especially if they're friends or something, but not there to write a novel. Yeah, it's not bad. It's a nice dark rich protectant. Doesn't look greasy. No sling. So there's a cure on it. That's what I gotta get. They don't make good tire dressings. We can take a deep breath, walk around the car, enjoy the results, and look forward to the smile on the face of the owner, the customer, as he comes to pick it up and sees it for the first time, fully corrected and protected. Really looking forward to the show season, I'm sure. As we were in the mid 80s, in some areas even lower. On the painted surfaces, hitting the triple digits as we plan. On the PPF, high 90s as well. And we'll walk around the car and even get to the vinyl, which is hard to get some high gloss units from. And again, we're going to be in the high 90s. I always like to back it out and walk around the car and enjoy it under direct sunlight. This really isn't the season for that. It's winter season in the Northeast, always gloomy and overcast, but we can still enjoy it outdoors before it gets too cold and we have to put the top up. that will do it for this video and the series as a whole. I thank you guys for sticking in there. I appreciate everyone who dropped in to take a look. If you have any questions at all, don't hesitate. This has been Brian from Apex Detail, and we'll catch you in the next video.